Hey friends, Lucian here with the Bullish Bears team. Wanted to make this video on the 3 inside down candlesticks pattern, world examples. So this one right here is on the bullish reversal pattern. That's for the 3 inside up. You'll see a bearish candlestick down followed by a smaller bodied candlestick, green candlestick within the red candlestick. And the third confirmation candlestick closes above the second one. That's for a 3 inside. Very important to see here that this 2 candlestick pattern right here is a bullish harami. Harami is the Japanese term for pregnant. So again, picture like, again, it's probably a bad analogy, but like a woman's body and then her belly, right? Now, again, the candlestick doesn't have to be near the belly area. It could be near the neckline or the chest area. It's fine. It's more of just a smaller, real-bodied candlestick in the middle of a bigger red body candlestick. So you can see this is a bullish harami. Again, watch our candlestick videos. In our course, we explain what a bullish harami is. The bearish one is just completely different. It's just flip it different. So you'd be at the top of an uptrend, you'd have a green candlestick followed by a red smaller bodied, followed by another candlestick that closes below this one. I'm going to show you several examples of that. So right here it says the 3 inside down is a bearish reversal pattern where the market is in an uptrend. The first candle is a white candle or a green candle with a large real body. The second candle is a black candle with a small real body that opens and closes within the within the body of the first candle. And the third candle is a black or red candle that closes below the close of the second candle. So let's take a look at some examples. When you start to look at chart patterns, especially on these major companies, the large cap companies, you'll see these patterns over and over and over again. And you'll see that there's similarities in them as well, right? I'm going to show you here. So here's a 3 inside down pattern. You can see a green candlestick. This is it's not really an uptrend per se. I mean, it's kind of was moving up here a little bit. Sometimes you'll have it trading sideways. Again, many times these patterns will happen right along moving average lines. No coincidence, major support and resistance lines, right? So you'll see right here a green bodied candle, kind of on the bigger side, a smaller real body. So picture like a body, pregnant belly kind of thing. This might be near the chest area. That's totally okay. And then you'll see the third red candlestick close below the second, right? So this green candlestick kind of envelops the smaller one, and then the other one falls below it. Now again, candlesticks are all going to be, different shapes and sizes. That's totally fine. I'm going to show you a similarity of what that pattern might look like in a moment. You'll see what it looks like kind of similar to another pattern. You'll see right here, bigger green candlestick, smaller red body. This third candle closed below this one. So this second candle, these 2 candlesticks gave you a very big warning sign. Bearish harami, look out. And you can see third candlestick closed below and then boom, falls. Many times it won't fall. And, again, doesn't mean it's 100% going to reverse, but it's a very good indicator. This one right here, a little bit different. You can see it's not as huge of a green bodied, but you can see it's kind of wrapped up inside of this one. You can also see close to a tweezer top. So that's a bearish pattern there. So that's what we tell people, don't bog yourself down. Don't be like, is that a bearish harami or is that a tweezer top? Again, tweezer tops and bearish haramis are telling the same very similar story that look out, this stock's about to reverse and fall. So as you can see, this has got kind of a tweezer top pattern and kind of like a bearish harami-ish, not as huge of a green candle. Again, not perfect. Third candlestick closed below it. Now, you're going to see some very similarities in a pattern like the 3 inside down, that's very similar to the evening star pattern. Whereas the evening star pattern, picture this smaller little candlestick closing above this green one, not necessarily in the center of it. So you'll see again similarities to the evening star pattern. So that's where you might say, well, is that an evening star pattern or is that a 3 inside down pattern? Don't bog yourself down with the minutia of it. Find the support and resistance areas. That's the most important thing. So sometimes you'll get very close, like similarities, like pennants will look like triangles many times. Flags will look like wedges. Cup and handles will look like V-bottoms a lot of times. So you'll start to see some of these right here, like again, the 3 inside down might look a lot like the evening star. You just kind of put this smaller candle, close it up a little bit higher, and then you'd have an evening star pattern. Again, watch our candlesticks video, take our candlestick courses, you'll see how those come together. So you'll see just on this Amazon one right here, I just pointed out 3 right here. There could be even several on these. They're all over the place. Let's look at some other examples. Let's take a look at ADI. Big green candlestick, right, in an uptrend, or it was moving up. Sometimes it's not in a complete uptrend, it could just be a gap up. You'll see that it's kind of engulfing this other smaller candle, so it's not bullish engulfing, but again, it's it's kind of like this belly right here. It's kind of wrapping around the smaller candle, and you can see the third candle close below it. Reversal pattern, no coincidence, price is getting towards overbought. Price naturally, the farther away it gets from moving average lines, wants to gravitate back. So it's like that rubber band effect, right? When something gets too far away from those moving average lines, it wants to snap back. It wants to come back to it. And the good news is these candlesticks tell you very important stories of when that's potentially going to happen. You can see this right here, perfect example. This is a good example of a morning star pattern. If you flip this upside down, that would have been an evening star pattern. So you can see a red candlestick down, the second candle closed below the first, and then the third closed above it. So you can see there's similarities to these patterns, but again, it's finding like support level down here, finding like the resistance levels, right? So that's what's the most important of it, where you'll see again, there's similarities to these reversal patterns, but you can see this is a bearish Harami big green candlestick overbought. It's not really small, right? It's a little bit kind of bigger, but it's still contained within this bigger green candlestick. And this third one came down to just basically show reversal down to the moving average lines, and then before it went back up. Sometimes it might not reverse right away. It might take 2 or 3 candlesticks later, it might reverse, and then many times it'll go and break up, or go back and move forward. Again, reversal signs doesn't mean that it's going to crash. It means it wants to gravitate back to the moving average lines, and then what it does from there, obviously you got to watch the patterns. All right, let's take a look at Facebook here. You can see bigger green candlestick here. You'll see a smaller, still kind of a little bit bigger red candlestick contained within this body up here. It did jump out outside of the real body, but it was still contained within here. And look, big red candlestick fell down. Then it just got all messy from here. So sometimes you're going to catch the reversal quickly, and sometimes it's going to take some time, right? Let's take a look at some other patterns as well, or some more examples. Ford. This is a really nice looking one right here. Big green candlestick up, smaller real bodied red candlestick contained in there, bearish Harami, third candlestick closed below. And then as you can see, it actually kept falling down here. And then when it starts, to gravitate away from these moving average lines, it naturally wants to move back at some point. It's all about learning candlesticks and finding support and resistance and the patterns within the patterns. Super important. Let's take a look at car right here. This one's a little bit messy right here. You'll see prices falling, and you'll see it started to move back up over here, right smack in these moving average lines. No coincidence. Smaller real bodied over here. This one didn't open up below it, but it closed below it, and it doesn't necessarily have to. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. You'll see warning sign here, warning sign here. This one kind of tricked you out and faked you out a little bit, and then boom, it fell, right? So again, like to show you real world patterns. Some of them are perfect, and then some that are kind of messy and choppy. BSX, another one here. Prices broaching overbought, getting close to it. Big green candlestick. You can see the smaller real body contained in there. This is kind of a high wave candle that closed beneath it. Indecision, doji, indecision. If you're noticing something very important, all of this is happening around what? The 200 simple moving average. No coincidence, right? Touching off here the 50, The black line's the 200, and then what does it do? Coming down here to, very important, the 9 EMA. Moving average lines, you'll see all of this stuff, all of these things, like a lot of them happening, these reversal signs, the further that price gets away from the moving average line.